let's take it to the big conversation on Bloomberg Quint. Remember, the result season is done now, and what will be important is to figure out what is it that brokerages or large brokerages are doing. The first of the block with a very large conference is Axis Capital, and their conference is starting today. The Joint Managing Director and Co-CEO Chirag Negandhi and Managing Director for Institutional Equities Mr. S. Subramaniam join us right now on the show to talk about what is at hand in the conference, what are the kind of participants, and what is the central message that they are giving in. Gentlemen, both of you, thank you so much for joining in. Good morning. Mr. Subramaniam, I can start off with you. It's coincidentally or otherwise, it's an apt time to have a conference. The result verdict is strong. FIs are bullish if the flows are to be seen the last 1 week. What's the central theme at the conference today?
The central theme of the conference is that with the government getting a reasonable majority, you would see all the uncertainties about the past getting behind us, the global scenario, except for the trade war, in terms of the rates being down, is also there. The rupee is going to be strong. So we think it's a generally positive across the board. It could be a little bit, some parts of the economy will move ahead a little faster and earlier than the others, but we think that overall the entire market is going to see a uptick. That's what we believe. We believe that the construction and the job and the investment push is going to start earlier. The consumption push will happen as a follow-up a few quarters down the line.
Okay. Chirag, what's the nature of the participants that are coming in today? I mean, would it be a large community from the foreign institutional side as well? Because they have been the ones that are looking largely positive.
That's true. So we actually have about 120 corporates and about 450 fund representatives. These are a mix of both domestic as well as foreign investors. A lot of foreign investors as well. The interest level is palpable simply because the election, and the result uncertainty is now behind us. And everyone's coming in wanting to meet companies. We're doing over 3,500 meetings. The idea being people want to understand where the earnings momentum is coming in, how the recovery is happening for each of these companies, what themes really will play out, and therefore where they can actually look to invest more and more of the money. I think the funds are clearly there, and the flows are clearly there. And the broader markets are expected to do well, but it's stock specific that people are still trying to go and see the themes and the stocks that they can actually look at now.
So Chirag, what is the central theme around the conference this time around? I mean, we've seen consumption suddenly take center stage with the kind of conversations around the slowdown. We've seen infrastructure now that the election verdict has come out. Infrastructure is going to be a major talking point for the near future and what the government does thereof, and therefore what happens to companies' earnings. So what is it that you think is the central theme this time around?
So to our mind, the work for the government is cut out. They have to move the people from the fields onto and the farms onto the factory floors and to the project sites, and that's really where the theme is built around. We want this to be more of an infrastructure, an auto, a investment-led theme. We believe that the consumption will pick up over the next 2 quarters or so, but the first part of the push will now come from investment-led. Private sector investment has to be upped. The cement demand, we are seeing cement numbers, company after company are delivering good numbers, and therefore that's the theme that will play out. Banking being 40% of the indices is always a major theme. So to us, it's more banking, cement, auto, and investment led, and the consumption part can then come in 2 quarters out.
Mr. Subramaniam, what's the feel that you're getting from participants? It's too early, I know. They haven't probably started, but you would have had a sense of what participants are saying. Are large funds bullish on India? Are they willing to put in fresh money to work at the current valuations? And part 2 is, what is the advice that you as a house are giving to those clients? Are you telling them to put in fresh money to work at these valuations?
We are saying 2 things. One is that we are saying that it's worth putting fresh money into the markets to work now. We told them come across to the conference, meet individual companies so that you can make a learned choice as to which stocks you want to put money in. But as a house, we are pushing people to come in. We believe that if the government does what Chirag has been talking about, move people from farms to factories and to project sites, we would see a significant positive momentum in the markets. What have the funds been saying? The funds are now saying that one big uncertainty is behind us. The funds are watching out for two things. One is that is the NBFC issue going to be sorted out as quickly, so that now you can focus on individual companies and see which one's going to be the big winner. That's the one thing. The second thing which they are looking for and they're hoping is that there is going to be another round of an interest rate reduction. Both of this we believe will happen, and as that happens we will see continued foreign and domestic money coming into the markets.
All right, so Mr. Subramaniam, while we've discussed the central theme of the conference and what comes about, what is it that Axis Capital is looking forward to in terms of their commentary to their clients over the period of 1 year?
I think we just released two notes over the last weekend and today. In terms of the major themes which we are focusing on, is that the initial part is going to be an investment-led pickup, which means that the stocks which are going to come up are going to be beneficiaries of that theme, which is engineering, cement, and of course the large lenders. Those are going to be the very, very big one. Auto is going to be a big beneficiary as well because it's a bombed out sector. So we're going to see a significant pickup there. On the consumption side, we think that as the jobs get created, as the economy goes up, the consumption theme will be a beneficiary, but they would be a beneficiary a couple of quarters down the line, and therefore we are telling people to go first into the investment-led theme and then follow up with the consumption-led theme a couple of quarters down the line. That's exactly what we've been pushing our investors to do.